Hey everyone, welcome. Good evening. I know, or good morning, some places. My name is Bernard Chang, a professional comic book artist and designer. We're going to be doing a solo sketch stream tonight. My co-hosts, multiple co-hosts, they are unavailable. So, but also maybe Thursday we might. If I stream Thursday, I might be co-streaming with a new artist friend of mine. Still working out the details, so I don't want to jump too far ahead. But hey, Mr. Joshua, how you doing? Long Wu, Jay Dang, good to see you. Crispy Papa, welcome, greetings from Melbourne. I'm streaming to you live from downtown LA tonight or this morning. It's midnight. Well, it's 9 o'clock, but some people it's midnight on the East Coast. In Melbourne, it's what time is it in Melbourne? I don't know if I want to guess what time it is. Do you guys see that flicker? I wonder what's causing the flicker. There, it seems to have gone away. 9 a.m. Matthew Crossheart, good to see you. B-Dub, Yojimbo, Frogman. 2 p.m. Okay. There it is again. There's that flicker on the screen. I wonder if it's it might be the webcam. Let's hope it doesn't flicker again. More artists, yes. I mean, there's a couple there's a few other pro guys on here. I was just chatting with one yesterday, and he streams once or twice a week. And I said, hey, why don't we maybe do like a jam drawing thing? So we'll see. I think there's still some technical issues to figure out, like how to co-stream, whether we do it on Discord. He said there's some app that his students have been using, Manga Sketch or something like that, that we can actually work on the same drawing. So I gotta like maybe chat with him tomorrow. Maybe before we get everything ironed out. Otherwise, it'll just be like a voice thing. He'll stream on his stream, I'll stream on mine, but then we'll have like a Discord voice back and forth, so you guys can watch, both streams back and forth, but you can hear the same audio. And if you're on the Discord, again, every stream I try to add something new. This time has been an issue, but on the Discord channel, let me see, invite you guys, create an invite. You want to jump on the Discord. Yeah, Crispy Papa autofocus. I think I think maybe the wiring, I might have pulled it out a little bit. But if you click on the Discord, join the Discord, I've created new emotes, two new emotes, Beavis and Butthead. Beavis is the guy with the bluer head. Butthead is the guy with the whiter head. Beavis is also a little bit more angry. I added a little frown to him. Patrick West, good to see you again. By the way, I want to apologize for the last stream. Hey, Steve, how you doing? About the spin wheel, I did not see. I thought because I had my OBS screen so small, it looked like it was let's do this, but it was actually B-Dub, right? So I'm glad you guys pointed out. And I wasn't reading I wasn't being a good streamer. I wasn't reading the comments, and I thought either Sean or Jerry would at least be reading the comments, but I guess they weren't either. So um, when I did see it, it was kind of confusing because I think I had spun it maybe another one or two more times. It's also because I like to spin the wheel. So, Suli, how are you doing? Good to see you. So, is it possible to woke to toke? Good to see you. It's on Discord. Is it possible to do an animated GIF emote on? Cause I save these files as a PNG, but um, is it possible to save them as a GIF and then have an animated emote? Do people have animated emotes? I mean, everything looks like it's just a still image. So, no. Okay. Matthew Crossar says no. Suli says no. Yojimbo, yes. Sean has money. He gave up on comics. His mind is elsewhere. Sean is out vacationing with his family, I believe, upstate. So, Sean, if you're listening to this, it's midnight somewhere in your bed and breakfast, um, or should I say mansion that you're renting upstate. Maybe it's a farm. I don't know. So the animated is only for Discord profile pics and paid for. So I think I can add one more emote. What would you guys like to see? Um, and it should be available on this stream for tier 1 subscribers. But I just uploaded them today, so it might. I don't know. I was watching a YouTube video, and they said it might take a day or two before it gets approved. I wouldn't know how you guys are able to see it, anyways. But so Suli says it'll take 2 days. Jimbo, a day or two for them to approve the emote. Mansion. That's a good one. Matthew Crosshair says Sean's new home shouldn't be called a mansion, but should be called a mansion. It took 2 weeks for Matthew Crosshair's emotes to be approved. Damn. Okay. Well, I got one more, and then I think I guess you can rotate them out. Kevin P. West, how you doing? I did not pick up Adrian Peterson, but he had a great weekend. Actually, I was going to show you guys if you guys are interested. Here we go. Okay. These are the results from this week's fantasy football. I'll be quick with this. As you can see, we suffered a 1-point loss on the very last play of Monday Night Football, or the last drive. Evan Ingram caught a second pass that gave them the win. So he had 2 receptions. The first reception was still not enough. He was still down. But the second reception put them in the lead for good. So I went 0 for 3 this week in the fantasy football, which is brutal because I was up early. Even got the red zone package on my cable. Just sat down Sunday. Red Zone's an amazing show. I don't know if you guys watch NFL Red Zone, but it's like, I guess I would describe it as cocaine on TV. So it's a lot of fun to watch. Crispy Egg Roll's not here tonight, or maybe he's like lifting weights right now. But yeah, the Bills D, they did okay. You know, let me look through this. I picked up Mitch Trubisky during the week. I also Picked up this guy K Bourne. What's his name? Kendrick Bourne, because Galloway went down. Um, and since this is Jerry's rules, you can start two QBs. Um, and then originally had Haskins as my second QB, but then I played Trubisky, so he did really well. He did great in the second half. Yeah. Mr. Joshua won his opener, uh, but you play your fiance next, and she is super good. Okay. All right. That's good that you guys play fantasy football. Frogman, caught bits and pieces of the Nuggets Clippers. I'm a Heat fan. I was actually going to redraw my avatar. And Frogman, thank you for the subscription. I was going to redraw my Ken avatar to be wearing the Heat jersey, but again, just ran out of time. I was working on the emotes. So, but hopefully maybe Thursday. But we'll see. Again, Thursday, if I do that dual chat, then we'll wait. I mean, I'm a Heat fan, so I'm thinking they're going to the finals. I think they're going to win it all. But yeah, sad for the Clippers. I was hoping it would be a Heat Clippers finals. I think again my analysis of that is the Nuggets have the experience in the playoffs. It's a completely different mindset. Just like the NCAA tournament, there are coaches that do extremely well in the regular season, but when it comes time to tournament play, they somehow just don't do as well. And playoffs, NBA, you need the experience. The playoffs it's a whole second season. You play the same team 5 or 7 games, up to 7 games in a row. So usually by the second or third game, everybody has a really good feel, even by the first game, because you've already played the other team maybe at least twice during the regular season. So whereas if it's in the regular season, you play them once, you can get away with a lot of stuff. But in the playoffs, you can't. And tonight, the Heat pulled it out. Jimmy Butler had a tremendous performance towards the end. Bam Banjo Adebayo. I have some words that I can't pronounce, or names, but he had that amazing block. I was yelling. I mean, Steve, of course, Mr. Joshua is a Lakers fan. Steve is, of course, a Lakers fan. We'll see. I think. What about if the Heat play the? By the way, I have not shaved the back of my head yet. Hope you guys can see. Can you guys see the back of my head? D. Rogers, good to see you again. Adebayo. His first name is, it's not Bam. Bam is a nickname. Begins with a E, I think. I forgot. So I haven't shaved my head yet. At the back, I'm wondering if I should keep it, how long I can keep it. Maybe we come up with some kind of game. Like Steve. Steve's gotta shave BC in his head if the Heat win. Or is there a Celtics fan here? We can make a little wager. But it's kind of funny because Monday I went walking around the neighborhood. Anyways, let's go back to this. Finish this fantasy football thing. Also picked up Malcolm Brown towards the end of the week. I should have played him. If I played him, we would have won. But who knew? I mean, I should have played him instead of James White. That's you also notice I changed the team name to No Mercy. Marlon Mack, I've since he's on waivers right now. I'm trying to pick up some people. Hopefully, Galladay will be back. Next week should be okay, right? Kendrick Bourne was the one guy. James White maybe, but all right. That's the fantasy football. Mr. Joshua, your cousin hangs out with Butler when he comes to Houston. They went to high school together. Nice. Nice. The one thing about sports, I remember that's changed a little bit, but I mean it's also a sign of the times, right? That I remember when I used to watch sports as a kid, and every time they pan the camera onto some guy on the bench, the first thing they would do is like say hi mom. That's like the first thing they would say, hi mom, like, and you never really see that these days anymore. Well, because I mean, one part, everybody has access to social media, so they're always on some kind of platform. Um, but to me, that was always the fun part where everyone was trying to. If you watch the old tapes of like football or basketball or baseball, they always try to find, especially in football, they try to find ways to say hi mom, especially football because I think they wear the helmets, so you don't get to see their faces very often. So when they're on the bench and they pan to the players, that's the first chance they get to say, "Hey, hi mom." That's the first time they're on, television. Kiss cam, yes, kiss cam's more in the stadium, but I mean like watching televised, especially if you watch like the old NFL films, movies, they tend to have snippets of that. But you don't see that so often anymore, hardly at all. I'd like to bring it back. So I'll make next time I do a video interview or anything, the first thing I'll say is, or one of the first things will be like, "Hi, mom." So let's try to start that trend again. Uh, Long Wu says, "Save the hair, so whoever wins the wheel gets the first letter and their name shaved into your hair." Mm. It has to be a wager, though. I feel like um, if I'm gonna, shave your initial on the back of my head, then what are you guys gonna possibly give up if I win, right? Just me getting my head shaved is then I'm like a punching bag. If there was some kind of wager involved, uh, Cool Hand Luke, good to see you. Welcome. You missed it, Cool Hand Luke. We gave away um, $100 gift certificate to Arby's. Um, mm, Matthew Crossart. Yeah. And then how long would I have to wear? How long will I have to keep or you have to keep the initial in your head for? Like, you can shave it in there and take a picture and then trim it out. Or one month is a little too long, Matthew Crossart. I mean, even this week, Monday I went to down the street. I went to the bank and I went walking around for like an hour just to get some exercise. And I went to grab this. There's a Salvadorian place called Aladdin's across the street from me, um, and so I try to go there at least once a week. And as I'm walking inside and there are people looking at me, I'm like, and I remembered, oh, my head is, I got like a patch in the back of my head. I must look like I escaped from the mental institution. One week, Matthew Crosshairs sounds a little bit more feasible. I would also say, like, if you have an important function you have to go to, then, uh, you could shave that. So, Poop Kid, welcome. Good to see you again. Um, let's see. Right, the jokes. Yo, Jimbo, you don't like Arby's? I used to love Arby's. Actually, yesterday on Twitter, I was like, I'm really in the mood for onion rings, something fried. But then I didn't want to eat the carbs. I want get the carbs from potatoes. So I thought maybe onion rings. Haven't had those things in a while. But where would be there be good onion rings? So yeah, and downtown, there's like a lot of crazy people downtown nowadays. So uh, Arby's has the meats. Okay, so let's see. I was gonna. There's a bunch of other stuff too. I found today. Like again, I'm still in the process of cleaning my studio. It's gonna take maybe a few months to clean because there's a lot of crap stuff I gotta throw out. Books, things I gotta organize, artwork. There's a ton of artwork. Um, so I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. Because some of the artwork is not really worth anything. Um, yeah. Your Jimbo says there's a pit beef place by his office. You would never go back unless it was the only one. Yeah, I mean, of course, any kind of like regular mom and pop place or standalone shop is always going to have much better food than like a fast food place. I actually try not to eat at chain restaurants too often. Fast food only if like it's a last resort. I'm starving. There's nothing really around. Especially nowadays because of the restrictions. Um, it's more convenient to just go through the drive-through. Um, the earliest, Jimbo asks, the earliest artwork I have. Jimbo is from high school. The earliest artwork I have is from like 3 or 4. Um, I'll do another stream, uh, maybe over the weekend or next week. I can show some old artwork. I've also found sample pages that I had in my initial portfolio that I got that I was showing around that I got my first work based on. So I can. I'm thinking I want to do a stream based on that. J13 Kim, welcome. Um, I think it would be good to share and see. You guys can see what kind of what my portfolio looked like when I was 19, 20 years old, trying to break into the industry, and then I was thinking if I had time, I could like redraw one of those pages. I mean, these are all like grand ideas. I started redrawing a Dr. Mirage, redoing the cover for Dr. Mirage #1, but then I just ran out of time, and I think that piece has been sitting in a pile somewhere for a few months now. Um, but yeah, so I think I want to try to keep these streams shorter during the week, and then maybe have a longer stream on the weekend. But we'll see. I always say things and it never happens, and then something else happens. Jim Lee redrew an old commission he did from the 80s. Yeah, it's always fun because you can see the progress based on how you might approach things. And then storytelling wise, too, when you're drawing comic book pages, um, it's that's where I think really is the differentiating factor. So, um, and then we can go through some old stuff, some new stuff. So, let's see. What character should I draw tonight? Do you guys have any suggestions? Tomorrow is going to be. I'm going to have the Catwoman sketch will be released tomorrow. That's the one we did on the last stream. That's the Shantober sketch of the week with Jerry, Ken Knutson, Andy McDonald, Glenn Urita, and I think Sean. Well, maybe he's not doing it this week because he's out. Acid Hughes, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Wow. Good to see you. What else? Vega from Street Fighter, Ryu, Royon, Ninjak, the Hulk, Matthew Crossart, Wonder Woman, Big Barda, Matthew Crossart, Sakura Kasagano from Street Fighter Alpha 2. Wow, that's very specific. Oh, sorry. Sakura Kasagano from Street Fighter Alpha 2. Uh, hmm. Well, the last stream was 4 hours. And like 4 hours and like 7 minutes. Let's see. Darkhawk, Optimus Prime. As the Hughes, my evening is okay. It's more of the beginning of the middle of the day. I was doing some work earlier today. Took a break to watch the games. Now I'm streaming, trying to stream again 2 or 3 times a week. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and either Saturday or Sunday, not sure yet. Right now, Sunday, because there's football on, it's making it look more like Saturdays. But again, some of it is also based on availability of the co-hosts. It's always more fun to have someone else to talk to. Wang, Baishi, Max, Pitt. Steve's on this early image role here. Matthew Crosshair says Mr. Miracle, Swamp Thing. Okay, B-Dub needs to be muted. Anybody that suggests Swamp Thing needs to be muted for like, I don't know, a couple minutes. J Dang says Moon Knight. Moon Knight. Patrick West, Doctor Doom. Oh, Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom's kind of good. Oh. Doctor Doom. Blue Devil. Enchantress. Soundwave and Rumble from the Transformers. Yeah, at some point I would like to do another Transformer. Harley Quinn from Batman Ninja. It's true. I'm very consistent. See, Matthew Crossart knows. Last time Matthew Crossart suggested Swamp Man, he was muted for a little bit. Cassandra Cain. Cassandra Cain from the Birds of Prey movie or from the comic book? I'm leaning towards Doctor Doom. I've drawn him maybe like once or twice before, but it would be fun to revisit. Let me see. Let me turn on this. Okay, we've gone into the back room of the Cobra Kai dojo. This is the back room where the real magic happens. The stash of Coors Banquet. Galactus. Psylocke. Voltron, Cloak and Dagger. Doctor Doom, yeah, I think Doctor Doom might be winning it for me today. Long Wu says it's Hispanic Heritage Month, so let's go with Jessica Cruz. Is it Hispanic Heritage Month? Oh, that's why there was that presser the other day. That is a good idea. Alright, it is, I think it is this, it is this webcam that's like clitzing a little bit. Is Doctor Doom, well, yeah. Thank you, Pandemos. Thank you for the kind words. 80s vibe, Pacos Ramon. Yojimbo's getting very descriptive there. Acid Hughes suggests Grifter. Grifter, yes. Somebody mentioned Grifter a couple times. I think let's go with the Doctor Doom today. about that? Let me see. Doctor Doom. Uh-oh. What is that? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hmm. Why is it not? Of course, battle damage on the Doctor Doom. Jamie Reyes, Blue Beetle. Crispy Pie. Okay, so I think it's either Doctor Doom or maybe Blue Beetle. Doctor Doom or Blue Beetle. Let me do a search for Doctor Doom again. See, that is not working. Hmm. What do you know? Can you guys pull that up on your browser? That's kind of weird. Battle damage Doom would be really cool, right? Yeah. This Doctor Doom is sitting. Let's do Doctor Doom. Yeah. You guys can help me pick. There's a couple different versions. I'm looking through doing a Google image search. Usually if I'm drawing a new character or something. Oh, Steve. That's a good idea. Can I do a poll with the widgets? If I did a poll, let's see. Streamlabs. Is there a poll option on but what if I did a Doctor Doom where the Doctor Doom was like taking off his mask, but underneath the mask it was some other character? I always like to do stuff that's a little bit slightly unique. You know, like last time we drew the Mandalorian, and how's my volume, by the way? Last time I did the Mandalorian, you know, Baby Yoda had his head blown off from a ricochet. Is there a poll option in the anybody know? Oh, here, poll. Okay. Fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah, Crispy Papa, similar to the Jason Todd sketch. What if Doctor Doom was Blue Beetle? That is true. I thought about that, but then it doesn't really make sense because Blue Beetle, you would only understand that it's Jamie. Was it Jamie Hernandez? Because he's wearing the goggles, right? So maybe if I was drawing Blue Beetle, it would be Blue Beetle taking off the goggles. Jubilee, yes, that's a good one. Oh, Jubilee is under the mask. Dr. Beetle. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Let's see the sideshow one. Where's the sideshow? Oh, this one where he's sitting on the throne. But that's not a. That's a drawing. This is the. Where's the toy? And which Doctor Doom too. What does Doctor Doom's head look like without the hood? Okay, let's just stick with tried and true. See, like, what if Doctor Doom and then it was Tony Stark underneath? Make Havoc, you're coming up with good ideas right now? Is that what you're saying? What was your last idea? Jubilee's under the mask. Does he have a burger face? Like does his face, is it like scarred from fire? I guess so, right? That's why he's wearing the mask to begin with? Oh. Unmasked. Oh. Oh. Ah. Right? That's what I thought. Yojimbo says there are two versions. A man with a handsome face and a single scar, or a scarred person. Or, Human Torch underneath, says CJ. But then he'd be burning the hood off. Let's do something with, let me take this. So I look through, like, usually a bunch of different references. This is mostly for the uniform. Oh, see, here's one where that looks like a John Byrne. Steve is sending me a text. What did you send me? Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's actually a really good one. Who drew this one? That's a really good Doctor Doom. Is this like Pepe Larraz or Daniel Acuna? That's a really nice one. I like how it has the gears on the face. Can't really see it, but it's kind of dark. Let me see. Who's the artist on that one, Steve? Let me see if I can find that one. Oh, here's another shot. This looks like a Jim Chung drawing. Victor Von Doom. Here he looks like maybe, oh, I took that window off. Pre-scar. That's a Jim Chung. You think it's Humberto Ramos? It could be. Yeah. Let me do Ramos. Humberto Ramos. Well, has but it looks, has Joe Madureira drawn any comics recently? Because the style, Humberto Ramos, because the style looks a little bit more modern. Oh, it's Joe Mad. Wow. Good find. Nice. Good find. Yojimbo does it again. Steve, put yourself in the corner. So that was from X-Men from a while ago. Okay. I could be wrong. I have been proven wrong many times. All right. Make sure you guys hit the that follow button. We want to do a quick giveaway. Let's do a quick giveaway. 42 minutes in. Let's do a wheel. Anybody new here want to get a chance to win? I will promise to read the the comments. Let's give this away. It's Boulevard number 4. Is this one signed? No, it's not signed. So Boulevard number 4. Let's show this. All right. It's a sketchbook. There's some Sean Chen stuff. There's some stuff. This is Sienkiewicz. It's David LaFuente. Some of my stuff. There's the Knicks City Dancers. You're New York Knicks fans. Did a promo for the Knicks City Dancers once. So, okay. Spin wheel. If you're new and you want a chance to win, it's free. Acid Hughes, let me add you, give you a slice. Make sure you got a follow. Hit that follow button. Acid Hughes, do you live in the United States? This is only going to be shipped to the United States. Acid, I'm going to give you a bright green slice. Anybody else? Oh, you are? Acid Hughes? I think I took you off last time. You gotta... If you're not on... In the past, I was taking people off. Now I'm just keeping people on. But in the past, there were a bunch of shows. If you weren't there, I took you off. Whoa, Crispy Egg Roll, welcome. Welcome. So we're giving this Boulevard Sketchbook number 4 away. All right. Anybody else want to get added to this wheel? Speak now. Jay Dang, I think your slice is on. Oh, right, it might have gotten removed. Let me add your slice back. Jay Dang. Sorry about that. Let me see. Yeah, your slice was mistakenly taken off. I noticed that last time too after we rewatched it. So it wasn't fair. You didn't get a chance to win the last sketch, but I'll bump you up to 2. Okay. All right. We're drawing Dr. Doom today, but let's give this away. Spin wheel. You got to be here. Anybody else want a chance to win that you're kind of lurking? Just got to type something in the comments. Otherwise, speak now or forever hold your peace. Okay, anybody else? That's it? All right, let's do the spin wheel. Kevin P. Kevin P. West. Right? Does that say Kevin P? Again, my OBS screen is very small, so. Um, yep, Kevin P. You here, Kevin? Is Kevin P here? If Kevin P is not here, I'm going to spin again. Kevin going once. I thought we saw Kevin earlier. Kevin. Is Kevin here? Kevin going twice. Alright, well, I'll just say Kevin P. West. Come on, Kevin. Or should I spin again? No mercy. Is Kevin here? He was here. Alright. Okay. Yeah, see this thing is like, you see that? Look at that. I wonder what's causing it to do that. Is it like a faulty wire? Do I need to get a new webcam? I was watching this thing where the new webcams are like super clear now. 1080p? 4K? Alright, if he doesn't come back by the end of the stream, we'll give it away. That's a good idea. Right. You guys are so nice. Alright, Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom. That last time I drew the mask thing with the Red Hood, that one I really liked, and it just kind of came together as I was drawing it. I thought, wouldn't it be cool if he was taking off his mask? Oh, my computer has to be up for that 4K if I'm going to use it. Well, I'm streaming off of a late 2012 iMac 21. So I'm barely getting by with this. Normally this iMac I just use for my on my drawing area, drawing desk, so it's really a glorified web surfer. All the actual computing work I do on my 27. Kevin P. West, congratulations. But in order to claim it, you have to shave the Lakers logo. I think Kevin just won something recently too. Didn't Kevin just win something? It's like on a good luck streak. There you see that flicker again. If you guys see the flicker a lot, let me know, because I'm not looking at the screen that much. Really? The price of computer stuff went up? Is that because everybody wants it now, or is that also because of the tariffs? I mean, people wanting it because they're working from home. you see that? This is something. I really hope it's not this wiring thing. All right, let me turn on the camera settings. Jimbo says everyone home. People are buying computer parts, but production has also been an issue. So double whammy, yeah. They're not gonna get all the PS5s out. Xbox pricing is do widescreen, advanced. You know, I was noticing I was having issues with this camera also yesterday because I was FaceTiming. Let me see if use this as a focus. That's pretty good focus. Yeah, I was using this this cam here, this one that is looking down on the table. Maybe it's the connection back here. You know what? So I have a USB extender. I just saw a streak. Alright, let me quit procrastinating again. I've been thinking about that. My cousin has a bunch of cameras, like high-end cameras too. Some that he doesn't use, that are maybe like a few years old, but I'm sure it'd be good enough for like streaming, right? But I would need a capture card, Crispy. I think I'm not gonna get the PS5. I have the PS4. It's gifted to me by my friend during the pandemic. Yeah, I think my cousin has a bunch of these Canon cameras because he likes a lot of tech stuff. So whenever something new comes out, he buys a new one. And I don't know what he does with the old ones. So I'm assuming some are sitting in a closet somewhere. So I'm like, hey, maybe, I can take it off your hands or buy it. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Crispy. Crispy's gonna DM me. We're Asian. I like to save money on shit. Never pay full retail. Just like No Mercy, no full retail price. But I have a PS4. I don't think I'm gonna get the. I don't think I'm gonna get the PS5. I'm not gonna play any more games. Although right now, I'm in the mood for. I've been thinking about getting an infrared sauna. uh, Thank you, Crispy. Just saw the DM. I've been thinking about getting an infrared sauna. Does anybody have one of those things inside your home? I'd be very curious. I've been doing a lot of online research. I was gonna get one that I found was for a good price, but then I was doing some research the other day, last night, yesterday, and some guy was who had bought all these different ones didn't recommend it because the EM was a EMF or was EMF was too high, even though it said that it's supposed to be a low EMF meter. Um, Crispy Papa, the only games. Oh, I was actually also thinking about playing some games on here. I remember the first one of the first times I've been on Twitch. I was watching Michael DeNicolis stream. You guys, your Jimbo is also a mod for him, and he played like some game online, and I was like, wow, that's the coolest thing. That's like really fun interaction. That's what kind of like sold me on trying to stream on Twitch. So, although I'm sure you can do that now on anything, but too woke. Oh, is that a? Are those nuggets emotes? Long Woo. That is a good idea. Long Woo suggests I stream myself playing classic arcade games. I do have a Sega Genesis that I play. Uh, Only usually when my friend Kadir comes over, we play NHL 95. We can play that for like all night, hours. Um, I also have a. Um, what is this system? It's not a Coleco. It's Odyssey. What is an Odyssey? It's an old. What is the Odyssey? Something. Chicken nuggets. It's an old gaming system. So I have it in the box. Apparently, I must have gotten it when I was younger and I never played it. And I've been thinking about like selling it on I don't know, eBay or Craigslist. Magnavox Odyssey. I think so. Uh, B-Dub, so I guess the other question is like if I'm gonna stream Sega, how do I do that? I would have to would I hook that up to my iMac or I would need like a PC or you guys can kind of see how this is how this is shaping out. So I need a capture card. I mean, again, most of the games that I have and that I play, they're all like sports games. So, um, I don't play a lot of RPGs, although I did play like Grand Theft Auto, um, and I think I might have played Red Dead Redemption the first time, but I think I sold it to sold it back to GameStop for like $5. Those guys never they offer the worst amount. Um, I think I'm gonna give Doctor Doom a little bit of an underbite. Golf Boy Sunday, you're not getting the new. Does it have anything to do with? Oh, well, don't you get the notifications on email? Or you mean it actually comes in as a notification on your phone? Well, tonight's drawing is Doctor Doom. I was thinking initially, how cool would it be if he were to be removing his helmet? I didn't want to mimic the same angle that I had for the Red Hood. Going back to your question, Yojimbo, earlier, I do have room. I measured it out last night. Um, I do have room in my place for a sauna. I actually have 3 different places I can put it. Um, I can put it in the bedroom. I can put it in the I have an area that has my workout bench and also where the birds are. And then I have another area that's kind of like in a hallway area. It's not really a hallway because I don't really have halls. I live in a loft, so everything's kind of wide open. Um, but yeah, I think at some point when I get some more time, I'm gonna do like a Instagram live stream. I know Jim Chung's been doing that a couple times. Um, maybe try out YouTube live, see how that works. I'm assuming it's very similar to this. Oh, I'm not too happy with this. I think it's coming from the camera because it's only the camera. Right? Like if you see the flicker, like the red part is not flickering, like the floor, the dojo floor, right? It's only flickering where the camera is. So and it was doing it yesterday when I was FaceTiming with it. So I don't know if I shorted out something or if it's a wire. So I think it's either a loose cable. I don't want to unplug anything. It's either a loose cable Could be a loose cable coming from the camcorder, from the camera. Could be like some eraser bits. Yeah. See. Just like blow on it a couple times. The more I fudge with it, I think it's getting worse. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Okay. Can I do that while I'm... Alright, well, why don't you guys, can you guys hold on for a little bit? Sorry about the noise. It's good now, right? Okay. Maybe it didn't like the Doctor Doom sketch. Trying to shake the table, see if... Oh. Okay. How should... I kind of want to make Doctor Doom kind of sad. Yeah, I didn't erase it. It's still in the back. I'm going to try a different pose. Whoever gets the sketch today gets 1.5 drawings. What is there? Is there a different version of Doctor Doom nowadays? He's kind of like is he now kind of like a gray character where he's like sometimes does some good stuff, or he just always does bad stuff? I do like the armor that he has, but I'm gonna try to change it up a little bit. I didn't think that that blowing thing would be that loud. Oh, Crispy, by the way, I lost my fantasy football. I should say we lost our fantasy football this week. The No Mercy team by 1 point. He was Iron Man once. There was a Doom 1999. There was a lot of 1999 books at one point. I liked how Madawara drew his nose. Let's see if I can pull that up again. His version is a little bit more streamlined. Yeah, I got Drew Brees too. In my other leagues. I think this might be his year, like one of his last years. I've noticed his stats have been kind of diminishing, although he's still breaking records. Um, they've also put the focus on other aspects of their offense. But I lost by 1 point. Very frustrating. I'm using Madawara's mask as as a jumping off point. What I do find cool now looking at football is like all these new helmet designs, and the helmets they're not that round, pure round dome anymore. There's all these different edges and curves, and I almost feel like, man, if I try to tackle someone nowadays, will my fingers get caught in those, I don't know. That's a weird thought. Maybe we'll have another, like, attachment. And maybe, what if it's revealed that part of his neck is mechanical? Almost like a Murphy from RoboCop, Officer Murphy. Golf Boy Sunday, that is true. I was very disappointed. They could have had, instead they picked up Dante Culpepper. And I think Dante Culpepper, I don't even think he played the full season. And that was because Breeze was coming off of a shoulder injury that had knocked him out from the Chargers, but he had a great year prior to that. But yeah, man, Dolphins, they could have had Drew Brees, and they chose to sign Dante Culpepper. I mean, and Dante Culpepper is a great player, but Drew Brees. And I don't think they've had a steady quarterback situation in Miami ever since. So, but look, it's extremely difficult to be a professional football player. I wouldn't want to minimize anybody's achievements. But it is one of the issue, one of the things you got to live with. So you guys are talking about Joe Mad. What's going on with Joe Mad? What if his jaw was a separate piece? Almost like almost like Darth Vader. So that he had this jaw piece was connected to a helmet that he would wear. Let me read. You guys seem to be having a very interesting conversation here. So let's see. Marvel DC Long says, Marvel did a crossover again. Spider-Man 29, Batman Beyond, be a good dream book. That would be. The two characters look very similar though too, but a similar premise. Heroes in the future dealing with tech. Yojimbo says they're doing another RoboCop reboot. B-Dub, I like the first couple issues of Ravage. 29.9 Doom came out from around the same time Doom did. Industry gets dire enough can happen. I miss the occasional Marvel DC crossover. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Teen Titans X-Men crossover. Jimbo says McFarlane said the industry is in such a bad shape he's considering doing a Spider-Man Spawn crossover. And he vowed never to work for Marvel. Considering he started Image. I mean, the industry definitely is going through a transition, as with any industry. I think there are a lot of people online that will try to convince you that the industry is on its last legs, and I think it's a lot of it is just based off of personal vengeance. Vengeance is not the right word. Has the industry seen better days? I'm sure there's been ups and downs. There's ups and downs in many industries. I don't think the drop in sales is due to whatever the online factions are claiming as the reason to why the sales are low or lower. There'll always be forms of comics. There'll always be Marvel and DC. I think what DC is trying to do in terms of trying to initiate a more global market is the right approach to expanding and maintaining comics as we know it, mainstream comics. And there's always room for independent comics. There's always room for both, or all of them, for everyone. So, I think one of these days we'll probably get more in depth talking about stuff like this. Sean and I, as well as some other industry guys, we talk about this stuff occasionally, compare notes. What is the do you guys know the story behind the Youngblood and Steve should know. What's the story with Youngblood and this new publisher that has the rights to the series? Or is that a hot topic? I think that's been a hot topic on Twitter last couple weeks. I recall reading a bunch of stuff from other pros, and I'm just curious, like, what that was all about. So, okay. Are you guys arguing about something? It's not a real company, Sully says. Yeah, I mean, but like people are like really upset with this guy, and like all I see on my feed are like people arguing about it, and I'm like, why are you guys arguing about it? Obviously, this guy is like, this publisher is enjoying riling people up, right? Why are you engaging? It's like some of the stuff they're saying is so ludicrous. Why even engage? I mean, at this point, there's enough negative information about this publisher that if you were to be foolish enough to work for them, then you gotta take some personal responsibility. So Yojimbo says Rob used Youngblood and Supreme as collateral for a loan from two different sources. He didn't pay the founder of Malibu, so he lost Youngblood. Now he says Youngblood sucked. Brigade is where it's at. So then, is it Malibu? So the founder of Malibu now owns Youngblood. So that's the guy that's been tweeting on Twitter that everybody's battling with. Sully says they admitted to hiring people overseas to draw imaginary comics and not paying them. So, or is it just someone is just, that person is just trolling everyone else and just, getting everybody upset, but having fun doing it. Yeah, so they've been hiring a lot of artists overseas, and so I'm assuming also there's a language barrier. It's a language translation barrier. There's also people overseas that want to try to break in, see this as an opportunity, so they're taking advantage of them. I mean, on paper he seems to have some credentials, but I just feel like there's already so much negativity about it. I don't get what the rest of the point is. It's that you're trying to cancel the guy. I mean, he has a right to run his business however he wants. I mean, it's idiotic, but the thing with so Scott Rosenberg of Malibu owns Youngblood. So it's this guy Scott Rosenberg? I thought it was someone else. No. I'm just curious. I mean, I come across it. I don't really know all the history. Um, Everyone seems really upset by it, or at least the people on my feed seem very upset by it. And I mean, it almost sounds too over the top to be real. What this guy's like claiming or asking. But I think these you'll see. I'm gonna try to match the the skull, the helmet, the different parts that I want to match up to, so it looks like this thing is a functional piece of tech. It's not just like a mask that he's wearing, but that almost like an Iron Man mask, but maybe so he's also threatening big creators who are talking against him with lawsuits. Uh, yeah, Darth Vader vibes. That's true, Yojimbo. I was thinking like this jaw piece that's down here has is the part of the jaw that we see when his mask is really on normally. So when you take off the mask, it's not the whole jaw as well. Like this is it's just another, right? And then what are his other how is his neck muscle or other armor? It's like a rope. Okay. Is there anything else you guys like to see on stream besides sketching? I mean, what else can we do? I like to play games. Hmm. Yojimbo. I've never really actually been a tremendous fan of the Fantastic Four. I think my first exposure to Fantastic Four was, of course, the Saturday morning cartoons. Remembering mostly the intro, where they're astronauts, where they explain their origin. But never say never. I don't think I never really read any of the. Let me give him like a messed up face. I never read any of the. I never followed. I never read extensively Fantastic Four when I was in my teenage collecting days. It was not, it was more of an X-Men fan. So like a tutorial, Jim did the draw along. I thought he said that there weren't that many people that did the draw along with him. We'll figure it out. I also want to do like a portfolio review. I think that would be cool. If you guys have a portfolio that you want reviewed. Give him like a receding hairline. Because he's kind of older. Some kind of collapse system. Yeah, Matthew Crossart. I think that could work out. I'd probably do it on a different setup. I do digital, so then I can draw over it digitally. If you're cool with that. Like storytelling pages. Um, Suli Long wants me to review your portfolio. I mean, the portfolio review too is the first thing I ask a lot of people first thing I ask everyone when I look at their portfolio is, what is your intent? What is your intent? Is your intent to draw? Is your intent to draw For mainstream comics, is your intent to publish your own uh, independent comic? Is your intent to work at, I don't know, Dark Horse or some other publisher, or like Scholastic or Random House? Or is your intent just to, you're just drawing, right? You want to learn, want to improve your craft, but that's the first question I asked, and I think that's the most important question. Because from there, you can frame the portfolio review. Right? Yojimbo wants to create art to sell to billionaires to fuel your addiction for ladies of the night and marijuana. Yeah, I would not be able to get you any work, but I can give you my opinion on stuff that I feel like would work. How does his armor? There are various versions of his armor, right? But it's really like just knight's armor, or like medieval knight armor. I want to show as much of his mask as possible, but his other hand also needs to be holding it. Pandemos, your goal is not to suck as bad at drawing. I mean, look, I think most people enjoy drawing, and it's very therapeutic. It's something that you do when you're a kid, and at some point you stop drawing because either real life happens, or you get discouraged, or you lose interest, or but drawing is like singing, right? Everybody likes to sing at some point, whether it's in the shower, in the car. Hold on. What was the question about backgrounds? Oh. At Crispy Agro asks, how much perspective do you know? How much perspective knowledge do you think is necessary? I think, again, that depends on what you want to do. If you want to be like an Instagram artist, you just want to draw even stuff like I'm doing here, right? There's some storytelling in it. I mean, at least I try to add some storytelling elements to it. Like here, Dr. Doom's taking off his helmet, and he's revealing a solemn expression. And then there's aspects of the tech of his, armor. It's not sequential storytelling, but it is storytelling. And So if I'm gonna do drawings like this, then how much perspective do I need to know? Well, minimal. Unless I'm drawing a car or an actual city scene. Um, but if I want to draw comics, I feel like you would need a lot. And the the part about knowing how to draw environments or perspectives, if you have a grasp of three-dimensionality, which is what is the basic requirement of like uh, drawing perspective, then your figure work is actually going to improve tremendously, because now you're looking at a figure in a three-dimensional shape as opposed to just lines, right? So ultimately, like, I think it's extremely important either way around, but you can get away with um, a particular level of uh, perspective, um, depending on whatever it is that you're looking to do. Right? Does that make any sense? And I will tell you that, and Long is correct too, that art is also very therapeutic. Um, I can tell you just from my personal experience, I've used art as a form of like personal therapy. Um, there was a time where I had a extremely hard breakup, relationship wise, um, and at one point, um, I thought, okay, well, I kept repeating things in my head over events that occurred, and I said, well, why don't I draw it out in a comic book? I mean, I know how to draw comics. Um, why don't I draw it out as a story? Because everyone, at that point, I think I was like reading about reading an article about like children using art as therapy. Uh, so I thought, well, why not? Why can't adults use art as therapy? And it's not about how well you draw, but it's about um, drawing the moments into a story. And I'll tell you that it actually really worked for me. Um, I wrote out the story about kind of how we met, and then and I started drawing it in a comic book format, and it didn't work. It wasn't like an instantaneous relief, or you know, but over the course of like a few days, um, working on the story and the drawing, I suddenly began to have like almost an epiphany, like almost a moment where like this weight that had been on my shoulders, based upon um, the what should I say, the sadness that I was feeling inside, began to lift, and I began to see it as a separate uh, piece from me, whereas before all the emotions and things kept circling in my head over and over again. Um, but as I was writing and drawing the story out and creating into it a physical, tangible piece of item, uh, I began to seek relief or see relief. So, art as therapy, I do think is there is some viability to that. You know, and art just drawing for fun. It is frustrating at times if you're drawing stuff and it's not coming out right, but it's just about expression. Um, so if the intent in the artwork is if your intent is to get a job, a career drawing comics, then I'll be a little bit more straightforward. Um, but if your intent is just to improve, drawing, learning how to draw a little bit better, um, then I'd be much more relaxed in my approach. Right? Because there's a seriousness that you have to turn a particular corner if this is what you want to do for a living, versus if this is just something that you enjoy doing for fun. Thank you, Crispy Papa. The hands are a little stiff, or at least his hand is a little stiff. His left hand. How are we doing on time? 1 hour 49 minutes. Oof. Oh. CBS Inc., welcome to the stream. Yeah, I mean that's the thing too is if you immerse yourself, focus, uh, in the drawing, you'll notice that you're like, oh wow, a few hours have passed already, and it really helps clear your head a little bit. Um, could just you don't have to draw what's bothering you. It could, but it could be a nice way to clear your head. I do the same thing too, Pandemos. I usually have something playing on in the background. I'll lurk on somebody's stream. It all depends on the stage of artwork that I'm doing. If this is that's why this part, like if this is design, this is the most difficult part. Typically at this stage I'm not talking. I'm as focused as possible, channeling my brain to see stuff in advance so I don't have to erase or change things up as much. But because we're streaming, it's not possible. I've noticed some people, when I jump on their streams, like, all this stuff is already done. So, and then they're just adding in the finishing touches, like going in and inking or coloring, painting. Um, but I feel like this stuff is probably, for me, the most enjoyable aspect to share. The other stuff in terms of rendering, um, that becomes uh, more like icing on the cake. If that makes any sense. This arm is not really figured out, but I think I'm able to cheat it a little bit. All right. Oh, raid! Wow. Thank you for the raid, Clockfoxed. Ah. This is the Doctor Doom where he's the Doctor Doom, but the armor is like a mix of medieval and tech. But thank you for the raid. Wow, awesome. Clockfoxed, are you an artist as well? We're drawing Doctor Doom tonight. Doctor Doom from the Iron Man. I mean, from the Fantastic Four villain. But a solemn Doctor Doom. Nice. Thank you for the follow, Eggplant. Clockfoxed. Oh, Steve, I just saw you subscribe. Thank you. Frogman, thank you for the subscription. Okay, I think we're ready to go into what I would term now the I guess darkening of the line, so that at this point I've been trying to keep everything. I usually try to keep everything still kind of light. I do a lot of erasing. There's no shame in erasing. I'm not trying to be super perfect with every single line. At the same time, I'm exploring the pose and the shape and the figure. So I think this hand needs to be a little bit bigger. Also because, right, it's kind of small. Now, if I was drawing this digitally, I would just lasso this. Now I'm just going to add a separate, make the fingers a little bit thicker. So maybe CBS, maybe this is, I mean, Dr. Doom was a scientist, right? What was his civilian profession? He was a scientist, I think, right? I mean, that's why, I mean, he's a doctor. His powers are, his suit is based in, like, what? XP dub. So I think like he probably has stuff that would be somewhat medieval, but it should also be high tech at times. Just, it looks medieval, but Does anybody know? Right. So Doctor Doom is a scientist and rival to Reed Richards. So yeah, like his powers isn't like mystical. It's like tech, right? Or science. All right. So there should be some tech elements to his armor. Crispy, you mean this hand or this hand? His right hand or his left hand? I think his right hand. Yeah, it's like bending underneath. What if it had like vents? Right? You'd think there would be some kind of cooling system. And I was mentioning earlier like how the pro football helmets have all these different layering pieces. He's also a sorcerer? Make havoc just below Doctor Strange? Gosh, he's everything. His left hand is a little weak. Well, so nobody knows anything about infrared saunas. uh, does anybody want to barter, trade artwork for infrared saunas? Well, Suli, I was just thinking about just having one in the house and then sitting in it. Um, does he have this? You know how sometimes the soldiers have like a tassel. What if he had one of these things? Yojimbo misses the Korean sauna places in Seoul. Great place, a sweat after a night of drinking. Yeah, like, you go and sit in there, you sweat, detoxifies. Um, Nowadays, since you can't go to any of those places, Um, I'm like, I was thinking, and I'm not really exercising as much. Um, this would be a nice detox, nice way to, you know, I don't know. I get in my head some of these things sometimes. Yeah, I don't know about an infrared mask. Um, I kind of just want like get in, sitting there and sweat. I like a steam room better than the dry sauna, but there's no way you can have a steam room in your house or in my loft. So, all right, let's do the. Let's do the pencils. Where's the orans? Where's my orans? I almost said let's ink it. Alright, this is another orans. I have two orans pencils. What is the difference between the two? Well, one has a sticker. It is the same product number. Oh, this one has a metal grip. It's the same exact pencil. PP1005G. Okay. Let's try this one today. I think this one. Well, this thing is like a detox. Sit in there for like half an hour, 45 minutes, sweat. Soli doesn't believe in that kind of hype. Yeah, Yojimbo, we can't really go out right now because this air is horrible. I mean, it looks like it's smog. It looks like it's cloudy, but it's like smoke. And I'm in LA, so that is Suli. I do that. I wear a garbage bag underneath my shirt when I go exercise or ride my bike to get an enhanced workout. Um, but sometimes I like to just sit there. Who else? Who else? Does anybody else besides Yojimbo know there was a TV actor that uh, fainted, nearly died because he went jogging with a garbage bag? Yeah, smoke's heading east. Maybe to Europe? Really? Wow. Frogman, where are you? Where are you located? Let me see. Normally, I would. Let's do a little quick. Ooh, there's a drawing on the back. Well, I guess you're not getting two drawings. Whoever gets this. I'm just doing a quick. Everything seems to line up. Again, this I'm doing backwards. Normally I'll be drawing this on the back, or whatever I did on the other side. That's my back, and then usually on this side is when I'm is where I'll be inking. Yeah, it kind of matches up. draw this hand. Oh, Sacramento. Yeah. It is like, the first thing I thought of was like, man, that looks like that scene in Blade Runner when they're, what, in Vegas? And the sky's like orange. It looks exactly like that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm on my erasing bend. There have been times where I've like gotten to this level finish and erased the whole thing. Sometimes I might get to this stage and then if I don't like it, I just start on a brand new piece of paper. Because I feel like, ugh. At least I have something I can work with. Due to the production schedule, give myself like another, X amount of time, another 45 minutes, an hour to try to figure out something. If I can't, then I'm going to go back to this one, just based on available time. Trying to see if I can get something better. I forgot this one. B-Dub used to smoke a pack a day. Now you just open the door and inhale. Yeah. Damn, that's a lot of cigarettes. I don't smoke. I do occasionally smoke a cigar. This connection here with this arm is messed up. So I'm going to avoid it. And this is the age-old way of avoiding. Because I like to do the battle damage. Gonna have some smoke. So almost like he's been shot up. So the smoke is going to obscure some of this anatomical issues that I'm not gonna figure it out. I'm just gonna. No, I didn't see the drone shot along. Yeah. The cars need to be washed. I just washed them like a couple weeks ago. Martin Lawrence, there you go, A to the J. Good to see you again. Yeah, Martin Lawrence almost died. Because he was jogging with a garbage bag. And you know, it's double hard too. Like I've been riding my bike occasionally, but then I wear my mask when I'm riding my bike, and it's a KN95 mask, so it's like super hard to breathe. I mean, I know technically I don't need to wear a mask when I'm riding my bike, maybe, but what I have done now is I've switched to wearing just a regular surgical mask when I'm riding my bike. Part of that is just to build a community kind of aspect of, you know, you see everybody's wearing a mask. Okay, there's a communal um, effort. Right. Just put some smoke in it, you know, like there's smoke damage. So the gender reveal party, that was how much of the fire is a result of that one? Like a significant amount of the fire that we're battling is. I mean, what's funny too is Michael DiNicola. He, like, on his Instagram feed, he has Instagram stories. He's able to capture all these videos. I'm wondering like how he does that. Is it a? I mean, Yojimbo would know. Like all these memes. So I'm assuming he's like using some kind of capture device to create a small video. Um, I also wear my mask when I'm driving. Um, I mean, a lot of people like. I've heard people make fun of people wearing masks when they drive, but I'm like, I'm going out in public. I'm not used to wearing a mask. The more I wear it, the more I get used to it. I'll wear it in the car. It's no big deal. I put it on. It just stops me from touching my face a lot, right? Just put it on once when I leave and just leave it on. Instead of taking it off, then putting it on, taking it off. You know, I have like uh, taking it off in the car, and then when I get out, I start walking, and then like people are looking at me. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to put my mask back on. So I just put it on, and leave it on. I'm training myself to getting used to wearing a mask. Right, Frogman, exactly. You know, I'm like wearing the mask because it's just like I'm getting used to it, building up um, this as a habit. So 13,501. Yeah. I guess a good question is how scarred up is Doctor Doom's face? Hmm? Should it be kind of scarred up, or should it be? I'm making his like lip a little low. Giving him like a longer, more narrow nose. Crispy Egg Roll is still awake. He was just he just typed something. You ate too much ice cream, man. I hope you're eating that What is that? There's a new brand of ice cream, Rebel. It's like keto. You're gonna lose all your gains, man. So okay, group question time. Um, is he scarred up, or is he not scarred up? Well, battle damage, but like, how much? Bloody nose. But what I'm asking is like, is he like, does he have scars like Deadpool, like Wade, or does he just have like one scar? Long Wu wants to kick him in the face. That's a good idea, but Salt and Straw is a little overrated. I like Jenny's. I like Jenny's. Which Salt and Straw did you? Are you in LA, Crispy? Where is the scar? I don't want to do one. Usually, like people do like a scar like right over the face, like I mean over the eye. It's kind of generic. No, SF. How about he just has? Is it a scar from like a? What if I gave him like a scar like Two-Face, the movie version Two-Face? That you can kind of see. It wasn't that bad. The Rebel ice cream that was keto. Mint chocolate chip. Wow. No wonder you guys are like so cool. That's one of my favorite flavors. Mint chip. Jenny's mint chip. Yeah, there's just something like. What do you think of this? What do you guys think of this? That you can see through his. Like part of his face is all muscles. Nah, it looks kind of weird. Lappert's ice cream. Mm. All right, let's go back. Let's go back. Where's the orange? Let's knock this out. It's 2 hours, 20 minutes. People gotta go to sleep. I gotta get back to work. notice I'm wearing this sleeve today. That's because I was drawing on the iPad earlier. Should roll it up because... And my arm was getting kind of sore. So I figure... It's kind of like a compression sleeve. You know, for athletes. And also down here it wouldn't stick to the iPad screen. Since we're talking about ice cream flavors, I would like to put in my 2 cents. Chocolate malted crunch. Anyone? Chocolate malted crunch? I think it's more of a West Coast thing. But it's available at like Rite Aid, which is like a drugstore out here. Thrifty, I think is... Crispy, I'm drawing Children of the Atom on the iPad. So... Pistachio I like. I like the Ben & Jerry's pistachio because it actually has like large chunks of pistachio. But other pistachio ice cream, you know. I just like the Ben & Jerry's pistachio because it has the really big chunks of pistachio in it. But I found that if you eat it, you kind of almost got to eat the whole thing at once, because if you eat half or a third of it and you put it back in the fridge, in the freezer, the next time you take it out, the pistachios tend to be a little bit more softer. So, thank you, Jimbo. Yes, they just announced Children of the Atom is going to be out in January. So, we're going to do a... Ooh, what just happened? Something just happened. Leo Imbar, thank you for the follow. They just announced that... Oh, we're going to do that read-along once the book comes out. You guys have to get a copy. Crispy, I use Procreate. And then we'll do a casting. There are multiple characters. In the first episode, in the first issue, well, we need to cast the first 5 leads, right? The 5 main characters of the team. They're going to get a lot of speaking parts. But there are secondary characters. There are 3 main villains, or 3 initial villains. There are other X-Men. Let me think. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 or 9 other X-Men. And then there's high school classmates. So there should be enough for like 10, maybe like 15 to 20 people. Ooh, Golf Boy Sunday, you got Earl Grey? That sounds good. And then we'll do a read along, and then you guys, like a table read. But and maybe some people will double up. And then I think I would read the I would read the caption boxes and the sound effects. Um, Suli says you eat it all in one go and then don't buy it for a few months. Crispy Egg Roll agrees with that. Yeah, a lot of times I go to the supermarket and I'm at the ice cream freezer section and I'm like, man, I really want some ice cream, but then I'm thinking, I gotta be serious about this weight loss. Actually, I'm gonna switch pencils. This one's a little too hard. I think this is an H. Go back to this one. Look at this. It's almost like it's inking. Yeah, I could read the script. Um, uh, well, I'll go into it when it comes out. There were a couple scenes that I switched up. Meaning like Vita had written one thing, but then I reordered it a little bit. For tempo and pacing. By the way, to the people that came in a little late, if you join the Discord, there are 2 emotes, Beavis and Butthead, that are being currently undergoing the approval process with Twitch. So hopefully in a few days they'll be available to subscribers. I think I can add 3, so I'm going to have a third one. I don't know what the third one is yet. So if you guys have anything that you would like to see, I was thinking just doing my head, but that might be kind of boring. Thank you, Yojimbo. Sean's face with dollar signs. I was thinking the only thing with the dollar signs, well, is it might not read. I gotta try it. I was thinking if I did his eyes with dollar signs, but it might not read because it's so small, right? Crispy egg roll, no mercy. You think it would just say no mercy? Or how would that work? Let's brainstorm. How would that work? Because I'm not against it. I'm just Has anyone done that yet? You would think someone has done that already. How can we personalize it to match this stream? Is I guess maybe what I'm trying to get at. Because it's the whole purpose of, well, is a purpose of emotes something that you use to also promote the stream so that when people see it, it would encourage them to subscribe? Or am I thinking too much into it? Oh, he does. Hmm. Okay. I mean, yeah, there is, like, I guess a second tier or other tiers of subscribers. Um, hmm. So I guess there is room for that. Tier 2 and Tier 3. Yeah, I would need, yeah, I read that. I would have to get more subscribers. Some of this tech stuff, just making up, so I'm going along. I should look at some football helmets. I don't want it to get too clunky. I really like how Dustin is rendering. Ooh, somebody just subscribed. Pandemos. Thank you for the subscription, Pandemos. I really like how Dustin does the tech on his descenders. I was thinking about that for this. That stuff too is if you can make it fit into the, what is it, the lexicon of the character? Is that the right way of saying it? Like wires. There was this guy named Gray that used to work at Valiant. Like he had done some tech stuff, very similar, organic with wires and everything. I thought it was the coolest. It's pretty smudged. You can see kind of like also I'm going top down. So if I started down here and this is dark, it would just keep smudging. So what should the color choice be? I think I want to add a color, but do I make it green? Do I color? Oh, gray for the metal. It is a lot of green, but I think the green might look the best. Yeah. Plus green will really help define that this is Doom. Because since I'm going off on a tangent in terms of making this like kind of techy. Um, it would help. I'm giving him kind of a buzz cut, but like thin. What happened with Golf Boy? Love the wheel, all about the wheel. Let the wheel decide. Yeah, I gotta figure out if there's a second. I gotta figure out, like, okay, I think there's a poll, right? I saw that earlier. I gotta figure out if there's a way to create another wheel without, like, can I save multiple wheels? Because the wheel I have now is everybody's names, right? And if I create another wheel with options like which character to draw, who is the Doctor Doom that is being revealed as a Doctor Doom, is there a way to do that without deleting? Does anybody know? Straw poll. So how do you do a straw poll? I mean, I guess what, you just ask people? I'm just wondering, like, if is there an app, like something that I can, like a widget? Is there a straw poll widget app? Oh, I can run polls through Twitch. Yeah. Right. Alright. This is going to be... I need my brain to think about this part right here. Michael Rojas, good to see you. Smoke01, welcome to the stream. You know, yeah, the auction isn't until what, a few weeks from now? They were just, they had a call out for submissions. So they were looking for additional, I guess they didn't have enough pieces this year. Suli, yeah, I donated a cover. I showed it last stream. It's the one that's kind of reddish. Teen Titans with Batman. This piece right here. So this is the cover to Teen Titans number 44. You got Robin, Red Arrow, Kid Flash, Roundhouse, and Crush, and then Batman. In the final version, like, he's jumping through a window. You can kind of see the window. It's kind of like drawn underneath. Right, and then this is the reverse pencil side. Like, he's jumping through a window, and these guys are running or chasing Robin. But because of like, and I add some gray tones on it. I just thought it was easier just to donate a finished piece. So I haven't been to New York Comic Con in a few years, but Reed Pop has invited me to other shows. Their Korean show in Seoul last year. Also did the India show, which was a Korean, which was a Reed Pop. Also India Comic Con, which is a Reed Pop affiliate. So they've been generous to invite and pay for all those trips. Who knows? You never know with these auctions. I think you probably get it for maybe $100, a couple $100. I mean, a cover I'd probably list for like 1,000 to 1,500 on my site. Normally, other artists that have dealers, the price would probably be higher. You allocate the agent fee, which would be an additional, I don't know, 25-30%. But since I'm handling all my own original art sales, you get a slight discount. I will put the rivets on his. Let me find the. Oh, what happened? What happened to Mike Lee? Damn, I missed it. Wow, exciting. How exciting. Who was Mike Lee? Was Mike Lee... Oh. Hey, Mr. Cool, Mike Cool Rojas. Good to see you. Mike Lee is... Nice. Good job, Yojimbo. Was he cussing? Was he... Come on, Steve. Steve, you're losing it. Oh. Does Wei, you want to be a moderator too? Oh, what were his comments? In Yojimbo we trust. Steve, maybe not so much. Yes, too woke to toke. I've officially made it on Twitch once a troll appears. Yes, it only took 29 episodes, but we got our first troll. Thank you so much, Mike Lee. What if I made everybody a mod? Like it was all mods or no one. That would be hilarious. Wow, exciting. I'm gonna have to definitely highlight it. My first troll. And Sean wasn't even here. CJ, you gotta put a $sign for Sean's S. Oh, okay. He was trying to be funny. Or trolling. Yeah, I never really got this whole trolling thing. But we finally arrived, Yojimbo. We finally arrived. He is unsheathed his sword. Alright, let me finish this. People gotta go to sleep. I gotta get back to work. He has unsheathed his sword. Love it. Alright, J Dang, thank you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Later. Definitely, if you guys feel like you gotta go to sleep, do not stay up. Sometimes I felt like streaming in the middle of the night, but then I'm like, oh man, I don't wanna bug these guys. But I do appreciate everything, all the support. Can I draw Crispy in the Children of Adam? He missed out on Action Comics 1000 last time. I cannot officially tell you that I'm drawing you in a book, especially with Marvel. Whatever scenes are left in the issue that I'm drawing, are all the characters are already established, so unfortunately Crispy's gonna have to wait until next time. I mean, besides, if I drew Crispy in it, he would be like the most muscular person, and then everybody would think that he's an X-Man. Well, also, like Long, I was thinking I can stream in the middle of the night, and then I could just rehash the old stories that I said in previous streams. Right? Because assuming they have not seen the stream yet. Assuming they haven't seen the stream yet, so I can rehash old material. Yeah, Sean should draw. Sean's drawing Batman Beyond number 50. It sounds like it's a double size issue, or but it would be Crispy 35 years from now. So, because it's Batman Beyond, right? It's Batman 35 years from now. So what would Crispy look like 35 years from now? I mean, is he gonna look like Bolo, where it's like kind of shriveled up now because he's like juicing up? Or is Crispy even bigger? It's just more of a legal thing. I was notified that I can't be drawing people in the books. So, and I get it. All right, let's focus. Let's wrap this up. This is when Sean comes in handy. Well, Roy, now it's just human growth hormone, right? Is human growth hormone steroids, or it's classified as something else? Almost there, everyone. Human growth hormone is illegal? I always thought yeah, but don't some of like actors and don't they take it for like roles to get big real quick, and that's illegal? All right, let's wrap this up. I think I said that 20 minutes ago. What should the question be for tonight? That is a good question, Long. Um, Long's basically trying to tell me, hey, hurry it up. We're trying to already working on the wheel here. Um, what did we talk about earlier? Who were the two emotes? What are the two emotes that I introduced today? How about that? Hmm. Oh, okay, we can have two. One would be what are the two emotes, and then what flavor ice cream is the consensus? TM Illustrations, thank you for the follow. What is the consensus favorite flavor of ice cream on this channel? Right? Yeah, I think I'll have his armor show some like tech wiring underneath. It's not like a full. You wonder, like, maybe part of him is also mechanical in nature, like. Horse roids. Right. So this is like half medieval armor, half tech. All right. Okay. Almost there. And the rivets. Let's see. I mean, I think the rivets will be what will make it Doctor Doom. But not like, say, Destro. So you have does he have more rivets? I do like whenever Eric Canetti draws someone, he always adds his own flavor to it. Yojimbo, you mean Jerry? Right, the rivets. The rivets really make it seem like it's recognizable as Doctor Strange. I mean, what am I saying? Doctor Doom. I need to go to sleep soon. But I gotta work. Okay. There's no room to sign. All right. Let's get the green. And then wrap this up. Oh, 3 hours. All right. And I think I'm just going to do a simple green. Basic green. I'm not going to get too rendery. Oops. With the colors. Just added some water. You guys can kind of see. Let me do it this way. There we go. Let's just choose a regular green. Maybe I'll get a little darker. Oh, thanks, Too Woke. Well, I do feel like I'm improving, right? So there's always room for improvement. And as long as the drawings are getting better and improving even my age, that's a good sign. It means we're moving in the right direction. But how shitty were the other drawings before, though? I mean, that's the question, right? You know what's kind of funny, too, is like sometimes I'll meet people at a show or something, and then they'll be like, hey, I'm a big fan of your work. Really like this, this book that you're drawing. And I'll be like, oh, thanks, man. What other artists do you like? And they'll start naming some other artists, and I'll be like, oh, wow. Those guys are not that good. So it's all subjective. Not necessarily, but true. Okay. All right. It's kind of light. I think I want to get a little bit more opaque with the green, but let me try this one. Let me try it, see how it looks. What I will do too is I'll scan in all of these stream sketches and then upload them on Discord. So if you guys want to ink over them or color over them, so I'm only going to color the green part, but I think that's only because to help it identify as Dr. Doom. I don't know if I like this green. It's too late. So Thursday, I'm gonna try to stream again Thursday night. It's gonna be a late stream Thursday because I'm gonna try to team up with this other artist that streams on Thursday. Um, since my usual co-hosts are inactive this week, they've been placed on the IR. Well, Sean is spending his money upstate at some luxury bed and breakfast escape. With the family. Some much needed R&R. And Jerry, I don't know what Jerry's doing. But Packer Green, yes, golf boy. Aaron Rodgers had a really good game this week, right? Am I mistaken? I don't know why this water is like beating up. Do you see this? I think I might need to make it thicker. Or maybe there's just too much lead on the paper. That way it's preventing it from... That could be another thing, is that because it's been drawn and erased, that there's too much lead, so it's not allowing the water to absorb into the paper. That's the story I'm going with. Is it? It's like getting kind of choppy, right? It's not overheating. Oh, it's a new camera too. Well, I mean, I got it like what, 2 years ago when I started streaming, but I really haven't used it that often. Alright, I guess it's time to get a new webcam. That's gonna eat into my infrared sauna budget. Yeah, I do see even on the OBS it's kind of choppy. But the one that's shooting at me is fine. Kevin P. West, right. The Viking defense. Much touted Viking defense. Well, what about the 49er defense? I had them in another league. Okay. Let's give this bad boy away. I'll fix it later. I'll add another coat of green. Once this dries up. Just so we lose a lot of this streaking. I don't really like this streaking. It's very amateurish. But once it dries, I can add another coat. Okay. Let's move this. Be careful not to spill. had a very exciting stream today. First solo stream in a while. 3 hours. Wow, shit. It's 3 a.m. for a lot of you guys. Mr. Batu, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Alright, let's do the wheel. Get this set up over here. Favorite part of the stream. So we banned our first troll today. I think this is a sign of the times. Maybe I'll move this over here. And then the drawing in the middle so we can at least see some of the comments. Yeah, it's really lagging. Wow. Holy cow. If you're new to the stream, if you're a follower, you qualify for a slice on the wheel to win this sketch. I could probably switch cams, but they're fixed right now. So I'm just going to leave this as is because I'm not doing any more drawing, so it shouldn't really affect the right. You know what I mean? Yojimbo gets a couple extra slices for banning the first troll. I mean, I think we should all be proud that we got a troll today. It means we're moving on up. Let me see. If you're new and you've been watching the stream tonight, you can get a slice. So the new followers, let me see. Let me add these new followers. Well, actually, if you want a slice, please type something in on the comments. Otherwise, if you're just lurking, you're just lurking. I don't want to disrupt your lurking. But if you want a chance to win this sketch of Dr. Doom, it's free. It's my thank you to you guys and gals. I'll even cover shipping as long as it's in the United States. If you're in Senegal, you're going to have to PayPal the shipping costs over. Artist Club. Okay, Artist Club. How long are you following? And how long have you been watching tonight to get a slice? Artist Club. Just following now. All right, well, the two... what were the two trivia questions to answer from tonight's stream? Who are the... well, what was something new that I added to the stream today, I guess? What were the emotes that I made? Yeah, so what were the emotes that I made? If you can answer that. Mr. Batu, good to see you. Mr. Batu's been here. Are you following Mr. Batu? Would you like a slice? Answer the question. Either that or what is the flavor of choice ice cream? Or where Crispy Egg Roll went to eat ice cream today? Or, I guess, man, there's so many trivia questions today. Or who was the guy that we banned today? See that flicker? This is like an episode of Tenet or Inception. So any new people want a slice? Artist Club? Can you answer any of those trivia questions? Come, don't be shy. Just type something in the comment section so I know you're there and you're following. Oh yeah, alright, Crispy. Crispy's just hanging in there. Yeah, I'm like that sometimes too, where the phone is just hitting my head. Okay, alright. Nobody new wants a slice? Speak once. No one new wants another slice? Going twice? Okay. right? No one knew. Let's go and add slices. Yojimbo, you go to 4, you go 5. You're at 3, so 4 to 5. You get an extra one for banning the troll. Well, Mr. Batu, let me add you. Mr. Batu. Okay, Mr. Batu, your slice is yellow. So just look for a yellow slice. Mr. Joshua, you're stuck at 1. Mr. Joshua won the Catwoman last time, I think. Sean Chen, Beavis, Butthead. Beavis and Butthead win this sketch. This is going to go as the lining for their cage. They're going to poop on it. Crispy Papa, you're stuck at 1. Way, 5 to 6. Crispy Egg Roll, 7 to 8. LeBron, Barry, Golf Boy, 4 to 5. C Jings at 1. Long, 12 to 13. Come on, Long. A to the J, 9 to 10. Matthew Cross-eyed at 1. Poophead still at 1. B-Dub. B-Dub, you still here, B-Dub? Wildstorm SSG is not here. B-Dub. Shoe Thief is not here today. James Kuo, not here. Kevin P, 5 to 6. B-Dub, there you go. B-Dub, 9 to 10. Eric, Kevin P, I already got you. 2 Wokes at 1. Domo stuck at 5. Patrick. Is Patrick here? D. Rogers, 6 to 7. Jerry's at 1. Suli, 1 to 2. Cool Hand Luke, you still here? I saw him earlier. Okay. Isaac, Cool Hand Luke's up to 5. Isaac's at 1. Let's Do This at 1. DMS Design. Pandemos, have you won yet? Pandemos, have you won yet? Frogman, it's your second time, Frogman. Black Panther's not here. J13 Kim, 1 to 2. 1 to 2, J13 Kim. Good luck. Roy, still at 1. J Dang. When was the last time you won, J Dang? The new rule is now 4 weeks. Around 4 weeks, give or take. So, around 4 weeks. Something just happened. Roy, J Dang. I want to add one to you, J Dang, but you gotta tell me when you won. When was the last time that you won? Acid Kid, Mr. Batu is at 1. Pandemos, do you have a, there you go. Pandemos, you won recently, right? Yeah, okay. So you stuck out, the Goku, okay, so you stuck at 1. Alright, so here we go. This is the updated wheel. Now you know. First 4, yes or no for a practice spin. Yes, practice spin, no practice spin. First 4 yes, first 4 no's. Yes, practice spin or no practice spin. Like if I was Crispy Egg Roll, I'd be like, yes, practice spin, because the thing's on you right now. The chances of it landing back on your slice is not very good. So far, 3 yes practice spins. 3 yes practice, 4 practice spins. There we go. Okay, so practice spin. Practice spins have 1 practice spin. All right. Practice spin, 1 practice spin. Wow, everybody wants a practice spin. Okay. Oh, look at that. Practice spin looks like it's a tie. All right. Now this is it. This is it. You got to be here to win. Except for the birds. You got to be here to win. Good luck, everyone. I want to thank everyone for following today, for watching, for chatting. I really enjoy chatting with everyone. Sometimes I might miss your chat. Try to catch it on the rewatch and address it the next time. Again, last time, sorry about B-Dub. Missed the whole thing. The OBS screen was so small I couldn't read it. I thought it was let's do this. So as I'm watching the replay, I felt like really stupid because everybody's like typing B-Dub 1, B-Dub 1. So I feel really bad. But you still got it, right? And thank you, Yojimbo. Thank you, Steve, for staying up. Thank you for the follows and the subscription. All the money from the subscription goes towards shipping costs. It goes towards shipping one thing to Crispy Papa in Melbourne, Australia. But we'll see. And good luck on the spin. Here we go. No mercy. Got to be here to win. Here we go. Oh, who's blue? Next to B-Dub is blue. Next to B-Dub, blue. Wildstorm. Wildstorm's not here. Does that say Wildstorm? Anybody wanna? Let me watch the Wildstorm, right? Okay, no mercy. Sorry, Wildstorm. Wow, Wildstorm would have won. No mercy. Here we go. Spin again. I don't remember seeing Wildstorm here tonight, right? Because otherwise he would have recommended fucking Deathblow. Okay, here we go. Spin again. A to the J. This looks like A to the J's. A to the J here. A to the J, are you here? Going once. I think he might have fallen asleep. A to the J. Going twice. Somebody better wake him up if you have his number. Oh, there you go. A to the J. Congratulations, A to the J. Look at that, Long. Man, Long. Next sketch I'll do is Nightwing. Congrats, A to the J. Crispy. See if I spun it again, just for fun. But this is A to the J's. Still, Long would not have won. That would have been. I can't read that. Brown next to a white. I think Isaac. Man, Isaac's won like 3-4 times already. Anyways, congrats. Thank you again. Stay safe. Check details on Thursday. I'm going to try to stream Thursday, but it's a late stream. It's going to be like around 9-10 o'clock my time, because that's where the other guy streams. And hopefully we'll make it work. All right. Thank you again. See you guys next time. Thanks, Jimbo. Thank you, Steve.